Alright, so I'll be doing a commentary on the replay of this game, and just to talk through my thought processes in this game. I think it was a fairly close game, and I think both sides made some mistakes, so definitely worth revisiting here. So to start off, I think looks like we have Tharsis versus Mining Guild, or Tharsis and Mining Guild, and the preludes. So I see Great Aquifer in the preludes, and that makes Mining Guild look quite favorable here. So we can start off with Oceans on the Steel and Titanium, puts us at 3 mining steel prod, and we have a couple of solid steel targets, so Research Outpost, Domed Crater, Open City for the late game. So this makes Mining Guild look quite good. Tharsis is also something to consider. So with Great Aquifer and Tharsis' first city and Research Outpost, we're almost at a conversion even. If we drop the oceans on plants, and then city, and then Research Outpost to the east, we're at 7 plants. And flooding would put us at 8. And with dome farming and design microorganisms, we even have decent plant prod to start off as well. So Tharsis is also a consideration here. Yeah, I think some of the things I'm debating at this point is whether to keep farming, and with not that much heat prod going in, it's not looking great for farming to come down anytime soon. So it would be sitting in our hand for quite a while. Also, dome farming versus UNMI contractor. So I think that's also something I was debating. So UNMI contractor just gives us some more income and a card off the bat, which I think would help for Mining Guild, just to scale up our economy early on. So I think I'm leaning a bit more towards UNMI here. But I think both lines would have been valid. Actually, looking back, I'm surprised I decided to keep farming. I maybe would have opted to skip it, seeing again, because there's just not much heat coming down. And it's now that I'm also seeing Ecoline, that will certainly incentivize me to not play heat, as Ecoline shines in short games, and Ecoline with heat prod early is a scary opponent to play against. So Ecoline played Metal Ridge Asteroid and ASA, so drew Callisto Penal Mines and Optimal. I think of the two, Optimal is certainly the one I'm more nervous about. And I'm also scared here to see Soletta come down, because he's sitting on quite a lot of titanium. So he plays Callisto, which feels a bit odd. Seems to suggest he doesn't have a good titanium target. So we can go ahead and play our cards. GLO, Earth Office, and GHG. And Ecoline plays Beam from a Thorium Asteroid and Carbonate Processing, which brings them up to what will effectively be a peak prod. Now that's quite scary. I wonder if he was banking on drawing a Jovian tag there. Because he played Callista, which he drew. So perhaps he had another Jovian in hand, or just decided to gamble on one, drawing one. That worked out. The drafts here aren't all that interesting. Capital from the previous draft was the only viable card for me. Ice Cap, similar for Ice Cap. Power Infrastructure and Worms, neither of them are too scary here. I think I would have went back and taken Worms, just cut that from Ecoline. But yeah, nothing really too exciting to see here. So I am just counting which cards I can keep. I think I can only keep one if I want to play Design and Flooding on the cards. And we have decent steel prod, so capital is not bad. Keep if we draw energy, cheap energy. Yeah, it would also help us contest the rebate spots once oceans come down. Alright, so Ecoline plays Arctic Algae, which is quite scary, especially now that I'm about to play Flooding. And in hindsight, actually, I should have waited on playing Flooding, because that gives him a conversion exchange. Should have waited for him to pass. He also played one action, so I could have just dropped mine and waited. Quite unfortunate, because the draws from Flooding included Deimos, which meant I could have Deimosed his plants. Yeah, so I should have been careful there to check his plants before I dropped Flooding. But anyway, that's done, so we'll Deimos him in a generation or two. Okay, so wow, so this is a tough draft. So Herbivores is good for Ecoline, obviously. Olympus and Anti-Grav are both great for us. But if we take Olympus, he may cut Anti-Grav. So Olympus might be it. Yeah, so this is a tough decision. So and Herbivores is certainly good for us. So I think so this one is Invention Contest. Yeah, so I'm kind of hoping he takes Herbivores. But I'm certainly happy to see that he gave it back, as that will be lots of points either way. So the thinking was that either he returns Olympus Conference and we can get our science rolling, or we'll get back Herbivores, which we did. Again, hindsight though, taking Olympus Conference may have been better. It forces him to cut Anti-Grav, and we will get Herbivores, and now we would have a little more to do. Right, so Olympus Conference may have been the pick there, especially with no science tags. There's not much. He would need a lot of science to get up there. Okay, so Algae, Fueled, and Cartel are all good for us. I think Algae is the keep here, just with Arctic Algae and Algae. I think this Ecoline would just scale out of control. We'll be happy to get back either Fueled or Cartel. Nothing too crazy here. Suppose cutting the micro tag is better. The vest tag also could have been a keep just to give us some titanium prod as well. So affinity to cut cartel, I think we would have gotten 4 prod from that. It would have been very nice, but fueled is much needed energy. And algae will give us some competition on the board. So since we're already at 3 oceans, there's a good chance the other oceans will come down soon. Yeah. So I have to start thinking about when I can play Deimos. It's looking like now is a good time, because I could play Deimos followed by Domed Crater Convert, and that could even put us a little closer to taking Gardner. Yeah, so really wishing I took Olympus Conference here. Electrocat would be nice too. So kind of unfortunate that Commercial District got placed there. It's a bit of an odd play for him. I suppose he was hoping to convert, but it would have been better for him to just SP Greenery convert. So this Commercial District is annoying for us, but nothing crazy. I think domed crater into a conversion is still the move here, and I just have to be careful not to get tapped or bombed by plants. Unfortunately, I don't have any stalls, so here I just have to hope I don't get bombed by plants. Virus or asteroid or comet all would be annoying. Though then I would just get the conversion next generation. So yeah. Also interesting where I could place this city since the west spot was taken. I don't think it's worth placing the city just to block him off. So I just take the spot in the south above the 2 cards. Not ideal at this stage since, again, there are no oceans along the equator yet, but it will take up the premium spaces. Yeah, so we're still waiting to see what our game plan is. I think I'm lean towards taking a card. There's no need to convert on steel since we're sitting at 4 steel product, no card draw, and no immediate targets for all that steel. Media group is great. So I think the thoughts here are, with no card draw in hand, that we should play towards the milestones. So Ecoline has a lot of money, and they will have a good chance at Gardner. But if there's a chance for us to steal it, then we might. Then we should pressure him. Yeah, none of these drafts are very exciting so far. I'm wishing more and more that I've kept Olympus. Yeah. Also, keeping lava flows is a bit unfortunate because we don't want to push the heat, but we don't really have many other options. Yeah, so I think the move here should have just been to media group lava flows onto the card, see what we draw. Not sure what I think I'm debating funding minor since with so little to do, I need to start contesting for points somehow. What would be nice is if Ecoline drops 2 oceans soon, so turn on algae for us. I don't really want to SP oceans at this point because of Arctic algae, and I think I'm just thinking through whether there's a good fund for Ecoline yet. So Landlord is the obvious one. Thermalus is also a possibility, but it's kind of early. And I think he wants the heat anyway. So bump the temperature. Yeah, so again, not sure what I was doing waiting to play lava flows. I guess I was worried about grass or heather or bushes, but bumping the heat still does that. Still gets, he had that heat bump anyway, so. Definitely not ideal. So again, I'm worried here of turning on bushes, which would again be quite annoying. So I think here, especially if he has bushes, then Landlord is almost certainly a good fund for him. And there's bushes, so Gardener is pretty locked in for him. And fortunately, we're actually quite close to Terraform. So we have Terraformer and Builder, even potentially Mayor, if we draw another cheap city. That's less likely. So fortunately, we're well positioned on the milestones. Okay. So GHG or birds? I think birds is the keep here. GHG, the heat is moving fast enough that we don't need more microbes. That lab kind of pretty much locks down Builder for us. And again, we don't really want to play the ocean. We want him to play the oceans. for us. Also, medical lab is just too good. Here debating between fusion power and GHG. If he plays GHG, that gives us a target for ants, which is nice. And both of these kind of progress us towards 8 anti-grav. It puts us to 4 tags. So fusion power is a little bit of a borderline pick. But with Capital, Open City, Electrocat, we have things to use the energy on. Yeah, so it takes Gardener, which is not surprising. I realize unfortunately that I don't actually have anything to play here. Great Dam and Fusion Power are both locked up, so the only option really is to play Medloud. But I'm sitting, that would only be on 7 tags, so I miss out on a production. But that puts me in a very awkward spot where I would have to SP an Ocean for Great Dam. And I know he took Subterranean Reservoir. So this is unfortunately a 1 action to stall and see if he places an Ocean. Because if not, or it raises the heat. So he raises the heat, we get to place our own Ocean. Okay, so fortunately the heat goes up. Yeah, so that unblocks the unfortunate lack of actions from my end. So here, just drop the Ocean. Probably play it to the east. Might be able to take a card, but we can take the plants are better here. We'll get a conversion next generation. So then we can get our steel targets down. Another mistake here is realizing that it is using up all my steel, because Electrocat is also playable now. SP City is so this is a very unusual play. He's not close to Mayor. He's not cut off from any important rebates here. So this SP City kind of tells me he has not too much in hand. That's a good sign. Because again, he's not really contesting any of the other milestones. Potentially a Terraformer, but he's still a few turns away. Oops. So I could just develop Electrocat. We'll also be playing Algae this turn, so I think here I'm just waiting to see what he does. Again, not sure what he's doing by converting up north. It feels like if I had to guess, it would be perhaps mining rights. But again, not immediately threatening the milestone. And Algae would give us the conversion for Terraformer. so he doesn't threaten any milestones here, so we can go ahead and play fusion power. Also unfortunate that I couldn't spend steel on that. May have been better just to save my steel. Lagrange, another nice card, puts us at 5 science tags. You might play methane. Methane's not too scary, though it might secure Landlord. So here we'll have to start thinking about funding our second award. Though that being said, with algae and the cities in hand, we have some good counterplay if he does decide to fund Landlord. And also with herbivores coming out soon. And what I'm realizing here is that with my conversion, he is well positioned to take the bonus heat bump, which I expect him to do. Yeah. There's no way for him to take 5 TR in a turn, so I can safely power consortium him if he has any energy cards to play, cities or whatnot. He's actually well positioned to take the bonus potion as well, with the amount of heat he's producing. Yep, so takes the bonus bump, and next gen might just take the bonus ocean as well. But again, only contesting Terraformer, so we can safely claim Terraformer and wait to see what he does for the second before taking Builder. And that's important because I will be hoping to fund something besides Landlord. Okay, so he plays Methane, which is again a little bit late for it to come down. Yeah, so I think thinking about what to fund here. The Scientist is looking fairly safe. It doesn't seem like he's playing many cards from his hand, which is also signaling he doesn't have great cards to play. Probably didn't keep Olympus Conference. He doesn't have other science tags. And he's trying to rush. Moss is an okay card, so it'll give us some plants to compete on the board. And it looks like he's well set up to take the bonus ocean again, between that and methane. So that's what he will likely open with. And I decided to wait one more gen before I fund Scientist. SF Memorial would be great here, but with the amount of Jovians he has, it's actually a little scary. 5 points on that, plus if he happens to have another multiplier, can certainly flip this game at this stage. The other cards are not as interesting. Titanium Mine is quite late to play, even to Steel Miner. So now I see the temperature is rising quite quickly, while the O2 track still has a ways to go. So we'll need to we'll have to contest the O2 a bit more and force him to start buying oceans and buying heat bumps if he wants to end. Alternatively, we need to put ourselves in a position where we're well ahead of him, such that if he does decide to end, we will still outscore him. Nitro Moss is a bit of a weird keep here. I don't know if I end up playing that card even, because it's at this point it's faster just to start buying greeneries. So here I'm nervous about Landlord. I think Scientist is a safe enough fund at this point with 6 cards at the end. Yeah, there are a couple of targets, O2 targets I want to get down. So Open City is good, Birds is good. I guess farming will come online soon, but I don't want to force it out yet because again, I want to make sure he needs to spend it to end the game. Okay, so now he funds Landlord, Scientist, and that actually is good for us. So I think this whole time I've been worried about him funding Landlord, but now that he has taken it himself, that gives us good counterplay for the end game. In part because there's a lot of O2 points left, and 3 oceans and 4 heat bumps means that he'll have to SP if he wants to end the game. And now is when we can get some late scoring target, get our late game points rolling. Shouldn't have taken that heat bump there. I think I should have dropped capital for the conversion. I mean, I think that's what I'm waiting for, so in case of urbanized. But fish would have been annoying. But in any case, there's no fish, so we can drop capital. And actually realizing here that I am not set up for a conversion because I'm only at 5 plants. So another slight misplay there. Probably could have placed capital in the north and then converted below my east city for the 2 plants, which would set us up for another SP convert next generation. But in any case, now with Landlord in contention, we'll be taking those last O2 points. I think flipping Landlord alone here would give us enough points that he would not want to end the game. So now Noctis City is an obvious pick over Mass Converter. Mass Converter is quite useless now, especially with no science tags on his end. Well, I think I opt to take local heat trapping here. And again, similar vein to take contest for Landlord. We'll need every plant we can get. Tech demo is also quite nice though. Surprised he has not played optimal hero breaking this entire game. The other cards are not as interesting. So here all we do is just take the O2. Really could have used one extra plant here. Yeah, so I'm just thinking about what the best options are, and I think SP could, like, taking the last O2 points is quite a lot of points. It also puts us ahead in Landlord. And if he does decide to end the game, we still have Noctis or Open City to play. Certainly the scariest card here would have been GIA. I think that could have done it for me. He did have it. Fortunately, it doesn't seem like he does. So now I need to just play carefully and make sure that I have enough points should he decide to end. Here I'm thinking of stalling out and waiting to see whether he will do that or not. I think the best option is just to sell a card. Sell Nitro Moss. Well, should have just sold Nitro Moss instead of one actioning, but in any case, and drop Open City. Which leaves me with enough. I think leaves me still with enough to play birds. Again, if he decides to end, will give me an extra point. So we have a good lead here. So he will. So if the game does end now, he will win Landlord. but we will take minor, and right now it shows us tied on both the words. So this score differential is an accurate difference, around 14 points. And I think I'm just debating whether to convert in the north or in between. North would give me just a little extra production, but taking the 2 points between my cities would maximize my score. And I don't think the extra steel at this rate is going to do me much good. So I think the right play is just to take the points. Yeah, so again, pressure, just put pressure on Ecoline. If he does decide to end, he will have to somehow end and also take back Landlord, which at this point of the game he probably doesn't know whether or not I have greenhouses or some cheap tiles like urban airs, the industrial center. Predators is unfortunate. That means I'll be losing points on my birds, but between herbivores and birds, I'll be losing animals, so may as well just cut his plant production. So again, GIA ends the game here, but it's not clear whether it will win him the game. And SPCD is good to see, so now that signals to me he's not ending this generation. And yeah, with that, I should be able to keep pace with him now, with farming in hand and Nocta City, and a little more money than he does. We've drawing boards, the board's kind of even on Landlord. It also looks like this Ecoline was like a little unfortunate on the events, didn't draw into any events. I think he didn't even play optimal for tech demo, so I think that might have also been a mistake on his part, and also a bit of bad luck. Yeah, Nuke Zone is interesting here because that is an extra tile for him, and perhaps may have been better, but IO might also be scary with the number of Joes, and since he does have the heat, I'm not too scared if he plays Nuke Zone. Paying that money to swing Landlord with Nuke Zone is a bit expensive. And he still needs to end the game. So Comet just in case he didn't decide to pump the heat. Gives us an opportunity to end this generation. Like even if we lose Landlord, we're still good spot to score points. But he did take the heat conversion, so we'll just go ahead and pressure him on that more. No need to end ourselves and let him score points with all of his money. So the move here is just buy some greeneries. As long as there are no 3-point city spots, the greeneries are currently more points. So again, we still have quite a number of tiles left. I think with the amount of money we have left, we can still drop farming and Noctis, which will give us a city and 2 other greeneries. That puts us at 4 tiles. He'll get 2 from between archaeology and his plant production. So that forces him to buy 2 more tiles. Which I think is okay here. He has 2 good greenery spots, and then there's one good city spot to the bottom left. But that also means the game doesn't end. And since with farming, our passive scoring is a little higher than his. So I think here I'm noticing that he has the 4 floating steel, so I should just be careful not to lose out on miner by accident. That could also certainly cost me the game. So I think here I'm debating not playing Noctis. Even though Noctis would have kept open the option of ending. Yeah. Since we don't have a way to outstall him, the Ecoline, so we'll just take the points, go another generation. So he spent his steel, so we'll just drop Noctis now. So we're up by 2, we have 1 final greenery. He needs to SP and drop a note and get one more conversion from his plants, which is an end. So a little difficult to make up this 20-point lead here. Yeah, so certainly thinking back on this game, taking herbivores was actually quite important, since had he had taken herbivores over us, he would be in a much stronger position to outstall. And so this herbivores is earning us over 4 points. Gonna be more than five, maybe 6 points by the end of this. So thinking back on that draft, I think maybe even taking herbivores is the right move. A little surprised he didn't take the 3-point city to the west. And I think certainly urbanized area or mangrove would be great to see here, or any title really. None of the cards in this draft are super exciting, and alloys or livestock, or neither of those would be playable. And a lava tube settlement's not even playable. So I think here we're in a good position to just SP our way to Landlord. And Comet is actually really good here too, because with all of the good plant spots taken, you will not get an extra conversion this generation, unless he has greenhouses. We can't really stop greenhouses at this rate. So with Media Group, actually playing Comet is cheaper than playing SP Ocean, and might as well cut the plants. I think in this position, even if we were to take Landlord through SPs, we would be still be in a position to win. I'm surprised he didn't buy the city. I think I was worried about him buying the city spot. So I think I go ahead and do that now. It's definitely a mistake. Definitely a mistake on both of our parts. So again, I suppose he's also worried about drawing Urbanize if he doesn't have it. TG for 8 points. Which is also actually a good sign for us, because that signals he's given up on the Landlord race. I think Landlord would have been worth more points if he was able to flip it. But this makes it a lot harder. Yeah, even if he tied for Landlord, that's still 5 more points plus 2 from placing a greenery, so pretty much same as what he got from playing TG. Yeah, didn't even play anti-greph. Yeah, so that's all for this game. Yeah, so 5. I think that's what ended up at 5-point herbivores. Very solid. 6 of them hadn't been competitive. So yeah, certainly herbivores was a very important keep here. I think Olympus Conference probably would have also been the better of the 2 remaining ones. But yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed this game, and I'll see you guys in the next one.